friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Amy. Today I'm going to be updating my reading journal, so I thought I'd take you along. I'm going to be just doing some updates, placing in stickers and ratings and things like that, as well as creating an art journal page for Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is a series I'm going through and I'm utterly obsessed with. So we're going to create a page for that. It's kind of like an art journal review page, collage all mixed in thing. There's really I don't write reviews very much. I just write art journal pages of things that I have loved. I also might need to make a new list. You'll see in a second. So we might create another page for that as well. We'll see. All right, so first we just need to get these ready to stick them in. So we are going to get a little cutting knife and just go ahead and cut these. So I've done a short tutorial before on how I do this. There are a lot of different ways to do this. And based on whatever journal you're using, the size of the journal you're using, and so on, your sizing for this might need to be different. So I'm not providing any templates or anything like that, but this video is in the playlist that is titled Reading Journal. And in there you'll find a video. It's like 2 or 3 minutes long, and it talks through how I use Canva to do this. So you can go check that one out. Again, go to that playlist titled Reading Journal here on YouTube, and you will find that one if you want to learn how to do the book covers. But these are all the books I've read recently, and so I need to add them all to my journal. Now I wrote down these 3. It's the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I've read it before. I already have the book covers in my reading journal because I had already planned to do a reread of them because the 6th book is coming out this year in October. So there's a whole universe of books by Sarah J. Maas, and so I'm just going through all of them before October. So I've started that reread process. All right, so this is my current reading journal. I didn't pull any quotes today to put in here. I may look for some later, but these are quotes of books that I've read this year that I absolutely loved. And I have all this space to fill through the end of the year. For these Dutch doors, I used pen and colored pencil to create them. Okay, here's just a quotes page. This is my reading goal. I'm going to hit that this year. And then here is my to be read / review space. This is actually one I might need to make some more because we're going to fill this up. We need a new to be read section too. So the thing is that sometimes I put in books that I know I want to read, but I haven't gotten to them yet, so they don't have ratings yet. So I don't always read everything on this list, but I have it in there to be ready for that. So let's see. Let's go ahead. We did the reread for these 3. So I'm going to grab a pen and just mark those real quick. Okay. How about pink? I had already marked that one, but we'll go ahead and mark the others. These ones are both 5-star books to me. If you haven't read the series yet, it's unfortunate, but the things that happen in book 1 are important to the storyline, even if you don't like what's going on. So what I usually say, which I don't say for a lot of series, is power through the first one to get to the next few. Everything that happens in this one is important for these ones. So a lot of people have trouble connecting with this one, but then love it moving forward. Okay, that's all I'll say there. Okay, so we updated that. Before I forget, we need to write down our list. So we'll put these in just a second. So I have the to be read, which, as I mentioned, some of them I haven't read yet, so I haven't filled out. And then I have my list, which is the things that I've actually finished. And these are all the books that we've read so far this year. So I'm going to fill these and these into here so that we have our full list. So we have A Court of Thorns and Roses. Let's see. A Court of Mist and Fury. I was like, what order does it go in? And A Court of Wings and Ruin. I listened to these ones on, what is it? The dramatized audiobook, where it's a whole cast of voice actors and they add music and effects and all sorts of things. And that was really fun. So that's how I read those this time, while drawing and packing orders. So that was super fun. Okay, we're gonna write all these ones down too. So this is a lot. Okay, so this one is a romantasy. Kind of could tell what was going on. It wasn't unpredictable, but I really enjoyed it. It was well written. Whoops, can I spell? Oh my God, okay guys. When I try to think about what I'm gonna say to you guys, I end up misspelling everything. Okay. All right, so the next one, Dragons and Aces. It is a romantasy that's very different than anything I've ever read. Most of the romantasies I read are written by women, first of all. So this was written by a dude, I think. But in the book, it's about the civilization that on one side, it's like magic and dragons. And on the other side, it's airplanes and technology, and it's how they interact. And that's really unique and interesting. I liked that one. This one was a fun, it was very, this one, Good Witches Don't Lie, Good Witches Don't Cheat, and so on. Very young adult, low spice. If you read romantasy and you don't like spice, this would be a good one for you. It was really fun though. It was well written as well. I enjoyed it. Not one of my top reads of the year, but very enjoyable. And I don't usually read books about witches, so it was a nice break from my normal, like, dragons and stuff. Now, I just realized, did I put both Dungeon Crawler Carls in this? Let's see. What is... Yeah, Carl's Doomsday Scenario. I haven't finished the third book, so I can't put that one in yet. Though I probably should have printed out its book cover. All right, so you didn't need to see me write down all of these books because there are so many. So now we're gonna go and put in all our stickers here and then go ahead and do our ratings. So I think what we're gonna do is go ahead and do the art journal review page for Dungeon Crawler Carl, and then on another video, maybe next week, we will create our new Dutch doors for the to be read section that we need to create, and then the list that we'll need to create, because we are out of space. We are out of space. So we'll make some new ones. I didn't do these ones on camera before because I had fun just setting it up on my own. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do and all of that. But this time, I'll do it with y'all. So you can look forward to that one. Yeah, I guess next week, because we're kind of at the end of the week now. This is being posted on the weekend. So sometime soon. Okay, yeah, we only have 3 spots left, and then I'm out of space. So I definitely need some more. Okay, I need to look up what I rated these on Goodreads, and then I'll be back. All right, so as we do this, I'm just gonna use my pink pen and fill it out. I didn't really talk about this one of Blood and Fire yet. It's by Ryan Cahill, something like that. And it is not a romantasy as of yet. It's just a fantasy, and it's more like an epic fantasy. So it's got the political intrigue, the world building closer to that of like Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan, or Game of Thrones, or Throne of Glass, with all the deep details. So this one took a little more to read than just a romantasy that is more based on the relationships than the world, if that makes sense. So that one was really good too. There are more in the series. I was needing to read books that I don't have to think through as much, so I paused. Maybe I'll pick back up with book 2 soon, because it was very, very good. But right now I needed some simpler books. All right, and Dungeon Crawler Carl, we'll talk about that one too. Okay, Dragons and Aces, I said, was a 4-star. I'm very generous with my reviews, by the way. If it's a book that I just get into and can't put down, that's a 5. Even if it's, some books I say are more like CW, and some books are more like those epic fantasies with the deep writing. Even if it's more CW style, if I can't put it down, it's a 5-star. If I enjoyed it, but I took some breaks, or oops, that one is a 4-star. Basically, if it wasn't something that I just couldn't put down, or I couldn't stop thinking about the characters and so on, then it's a 4-star, even like if I still enjoyed it. 3-star would be, it was good, but I may not continue the series, or like it just wasn't, like there was something that was a little bit off about it. 2-star, I rarely rate a 2-star. It's like there was something, oh my God, I can't do this while talking, guys. There was something major that just didn't sit right, like something wasn't believable, or something, you know, happened at the very end that I didn't like, or something like that. And I never have 1-stars, because those would be my DNFs. Did not finish, which I have a DNF graveyard. I'll show you. Where did it go? Right here, I do have 1 book here. And so if it's a book that just I could not get into it for whatever reason, or it was not the time to read it, I'll put it there. In the case of the 1 book that's there, it was kind of a new genre for me. It's called a Why Choose, or like reverse harem, where the main character girl has a lot of love interests, and the way that it started and how fast any romance started was completely unbelievable, and I could not get into it, and I decided that type of book was not for me. And that's okay. We all have books that don't fit what we want to read. So that was one of them. All right, we have finished filling out our little stars. Great. We have a little more updates to do though. We have to put in here anything that we finished. So we're gonna do some flip back and forth looking at these. So we have F, which we've already done, and S, which we've already done. Dragons and Aces, Good Witches, Dusk, Midnight. We may not be able to fill anything in. Dawn and Blood. Okay, we can't fill anything in on the reading challenge. I think I'm going to have to start picking some books that start with these, because we're getting to some letters that are kind of hard to complete. Okay, then we get to fill this in. So I'm going to grab a couple of mild liner colors so that we can just have some variety and then fill it out. Okay, here we go. Here are some more colors, and let's go to our list. This is just a fun, like, visual representation of how much you've read. It's kind of the same thing as this, but, you know, whatever. Okay, so we got to 63. So I'm just going to fill that one in here and then fill in random colors so that we have some color variation going on from all these ones filled in. Okay. And I'm not filling things out perfectly. I'm not thinking about where I'm putting the colors. I'm just filling stuff in. Now this reading journal I created and did not want to be tracking every single day what I was reading. There are some reading journals out there if you want to track how many pages you read, how many chapters you read, how many minutes you read. There are some great pre-made reading journals. I've reviewed a few here on my channel recently. There was Kell of a Plan, there was Wrong Devo. So you can check those out if there's one that you want that is like pre-done. You don't have to create your own things, but I had very specific things I wanted, and this was a really fun way to put it together. All right, so let's go ahead and create our little art journal page. This is the one I created for Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series. So I created like this whole art journal thing, then had this little piece that goes like that with my little book review. And this one I actually wrote on. This was Fierce Fury. And this was an ARC read, so that's an advanced reader copy. So the author sent me the book and sent me some little stickers and bookmarks and things. So I put those in here. So that was really fun. That was my first ARC read. All right, but today we're going to create one for Dungeon Crawler Carl. So that's going to want to stay open. So I'm going to clip this here right now. Now, I did print out the book cover in sticker form. We will have that on it. But also I have this whole idea, so I need just the title. So I'm gonna cut that out real quick. So Dungeon Crawler Carl, it is a sci-fi book, and the premise is that Earth is suddenly shoved into this intergalactic game show, essentially. There's a whole galaxy out there of worlds and creatures of all sorts of things, and they come and take over Earth, basically demolishing it, but underground create these dungeons, like a Dungeons and Dragons style thing. And the remaining humans are given the opportunity to go into the dungeons to save themselves and go through this basically reality TV show for the galaxy of them trying to make their way to lower and lower dungeons and try to survive. It is a hoot. It is hilarious. I am loving it. It is really fun. I'm listening to the audio, which is very good. There's some voices and things that need the technology to really hear them. I'm trying to say that without giving anything away. So the audiobook is very good. It is an Audible exclusive, so if you don't use Audible, that would be a problem for you. But I am really enjoying it. So we are going to create a little page about it. I don't even know if I'm going to use this one. We are going to put this one here and like this one like this maybe. But I also, if you know, you know, I'm going to draw some, this is hilarious. If you haven't read it, this is going to make no sense. I am going to draw some boxers on the page. That is what I'm going to draw. And if you haven't read the book, that makes no sense to you. All right, so I grabbed my acrylic markers and here's a pencil. I'm also going to write out a catchphrase from the book, but let's get these down first. I need some double-sided tape. Here's a little tape thing. All right. So these are just fun little representations of the book. There's no, I don't know. I'm still deciding exactly how I do these. I don't like writing big reviews or things like that. That's not what I want in my reading journal, but I enjoy creating based on the books. So that's kind of what this is. But as you can see, I've only done 2 other things this year in this. So I haven't quite figured out what I want out of my style. Okay, so we're gonna put the catchphrase here, and I think we'll draw the boxers right here around it. So we're just gonna kind of sketch the line of some boxers. All right, so my phone missed filming about 2 minutes of the video, unfortunately. So sorry about that, guys. Sometimes that happens. But we are drawing the boxers. I am using Ohuhu acrylic markers. They're paint pens. I don't know a lot about paint pens, but I do enjoy these ones. These are the ones that I've used for all of this notebook so far when I've been coloring things. So we're just quickly filling in red hearts here. I'm not going to fill in anything for the white boxers. I don't really feel like drawing white everywhere. I am going to use a black pen to outline the boxers. This is just like a quick little doodle. And then down here we've got the catchphrase from the book. I don't know if it cut off, but in this book, Carl is the main character. He, you know, is human, and he entered the dungeon with his ex-girlfriend's pet cat named Donut. And so that is where the catchphrase comes from. It's him talking to the pet cat. So if you read the books, you'll understand. But this is like my favorite book of the year so far. So super excited by that. Okay, so we got the red hearts. We're gonna let that settle down for a minute. We're gonna write out that using a yellow acrylic marker, and that's gonna lead, oh God, what did I just do? Guys, we are gonna need to use white. This is the benefit of acrylic markers. I can fix things. Okay, by using white, so we are gonna use the white. I'm just erasing some of this so it's easier to put the yellow over it. Okay, so let's get our white, fix that up. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's our white. Make sure it's ready to go. It is. And now I guess we're outlining the whole thing, because it's gonna be weird if I only outline some of it. We're gonna cover over the red. Oh my gosh, guys. Did I really just do that? See, and I don't cut out any mistakes that I make, because I wanna show you guys the whole process, the true process. Okay, I'll let that side dry for a minute. This side's dry, so I'm gonna do this one. It will cover over the dots a little bit, so we won't see the dots as much, which is nice. So that was the one reason I was considering doing this from the beginning anyways. But it's just hard because I don't want to smear anything like I just did there. Because, yeah. All right, here we go, coloring away. What would have been cool had I thought about this ahead of time is to do this on a like colorful piece of paper, so then I could color the white boxers and you could see them all the way. But we are still going to outline it with like a black pen or something like that. Just to make it all even looking. The white of the paper is a little bit different than the white of the pen. And you can see how the white dots are getting covered just a little bit. Okay, here we go. Making progress. Oh my gosh, how did I really just do that? All right, so we're gonna speed this up as I color this because this is taking a bit. Okay, so we're about to fill in this last bit. It probably will require 2 layers or 3 layers of ink because it's quite pigmented. So what I should have done had I wanted to do this from the get-go is put all the white down, let it dry, then draw the red over top. I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. But that would have worked better, or just wait for it to dry so I don't accidentally smear it. But sometimes if you're doing this, you're using a lot of ink and the pen starts to feel a little dry, so shake it up and press the little lever again. I need to let that dry all the way before I touch it again. We're gonna get another layer over that one spot, and we're gonna pick a yellow to write out the catchphrase. But I'm not gonna do it yet because I'm gonna let it dry this time. All right, we waited a moment. Let's go ahead and there's a little bit we can cover over here still. Let's do this too. And I'm trying to go really light so I don't do that because it's not totally dry yet. Okay, that one's not quite dry enough, but I think it's dry enough on the rest of it that I can do this part. So we'll come back to that in a minute. So I'm going to give no spoilers for this book, so I'm not going to tell you why this quote is kind of the catchphrase. You will have to read the book to figure out why. But if you like board games, especially things like Dungeons and Dragons, if you like sci-fi or pop culture, this is a good book for you. It's very entertaining. I've never read a book like it. And I love it. It is a rather long series. I think there's like 7 or 8 of them, and there's going to be at least 8 or 9 of them total. So just be prepared. Okay, and we're just gonna leave it like that. Let all those things dry. I'll come back in a little while when I'm really sure this is dry to finish that up, do the black lines, and write on it. All right, so that seems dry, so let's go ahead and try to cover this up more. Get some ink, probably shake the camera. Yeah, that's covering up nicely. All right, so there we go. Covered that up pretty well. And we'll grab our black to do an outline very quickly. Just go all the way around the boxers. When I'm adding in little doodle items like this. I didn't, you know, sketch it over and over to make the lines perfect. That's what I typically do with my art. I'll like draw shapes, sketch it out, make a new layer, sketch it again to help make it go more smoothly, and so on. When I'm doodling in here, I'm not worried about that. I just want really simple shapes and easy things that I can draw. Pair of boxers, pretty easy shape. And then hearts, of course, we all know how to doodle little hearts. So that's pretty good. Okay, I am going to write down some of my favorite things about Dungeon Crawler Carl in these sections. So I'm gonna do that off camera and then show it to you. All right, so here is the end result. Again, it's kind of like a review page, but getting crafty with it. Our craftiness was just pasting in a few things and drawing those heart boxers. I added, you know, that I loved the audiobook, kind of what it was, a fast-paced action, sci-fi with RPG elements. I love the pop culture and D&D elements that are sprinkled throughout the book. And also like the fact that a lot of the pop culture or stuff about the Earth, they have not gotten right, the galaxy. So then they're all like, what? All the humans when they're talking about, you know, Earth culture and things like that. This quote I absolutely loved from the book. If we get to the point where we don't help each other anymore, that's when we stop being human. And then new achievement, that's something from the book as well. All right, so I really enjoyed making that one. We are going to not put this anywhere because I have that right there. But I'm all caught up on this. Sometime in the next week or so, I will come back with y'all and create another set of these as well as another list. Probably going up to 150 this time because I think we're gonna need it. Oh my God. I've never read this much, you guys. I'm in a reading phase right now. I have stopped scrolling. I have stopped doing other things. I scroll occasionally, but I'm making it a point to focus on books this year, and it's been so fun so far. All right, so anyways, hope you enjoyed this flip through and update and this little review page. All right, thanks so much everyone, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.